Alright, so there's a new Slender Man movie coming out. Yay! Slendy has finally made it big, reaching the big screen, I guess. I mean, it was inevitable. Someone over at Hollywood was bound to snap this thing up someday and capitalize on it. I'm surprised it hasn't happened sooner. I mean, we did get that Marble Hornets movie, but, nobody liked that movie, so whatever. Go check out Fish Stick on a Stick's review of it. Now, the obvious question on everyone's mind right now is, why now? Why make a Slender Man movie in 2018? He's not exactly the hottest subject anymore, so it's very interesting that they finally got off their asses and made a movie about him. Let's try to keep an open mind. Maybe it won't look like a cheap cash grab manufactured by a studio to make some quick money. Maybe they were just waiting for the right moment, the right idea to create something truly incredible. Let's go through the trailer and see for ourselves. So the first thing we see is that the movie is made by Sony. Oh, for fuck's sake! Alright, so we're in some graveyard, I suppose. Someone died or something. I'm very much reminded of Stranger Things right here, with the cops heading inside the woods. Missing daughter, alright. Then we hear some generic monster noises for some reason. So I guess this girl is like super obsessed with Slender Man, eh? Or maybe that was the girl who went missing or something? How old is she supposed to be? Either she found all these drawings online and decided to print them out and hang on her wall, or she drew them herself, which is a little embarrassing. These all look like what I would draw back when I was an edgy 12-year-old. So this trailer is basically a run-through of iconic Slendy imagery. We got the woods, we got shadows, creepy stick figures, you know the deal. Wait a minute, why does the smoke effect here look so bad? Is the trailer like weirdly compressed to be able to fit onto YouTube, or is that how it's actually gonna look in the movie? That's CGI, isn't it? Why not just use like a smoke machine and color grade the footage for a bit to make it darker? So of course, next up we get silence, followed by a boom, scary noise, ah! Just like in every other goddamn Hollywood horror film trailer ever, followed by what seems to be a young girl who is obviously being terrorized by our favorite tall skinny white boy.
That white boy.
Next up, boom! Vaguely disjointed spooky horror imagery. This girl badly needs a haircut. This dude badly needs a straitjacket. This girl badly needs Jesus. This dude just auditioned for The Happening. This girl, who was in the graveyard earlier, comically fucking stabs herself with a scalpel in the middle of class for some reason. Did Slender Man tell her to do it? Ooh. Then the music just awkwardly cuts out with some really bad sound editing, as the limpest stabbing sound effect ever plays. And some crew member just squirts some ketchup on the other girl, which makes this entire thing look awful, honestly. Please, don't shy away from showing violence in the actual movie, please. Please don't fucking keep it tame to keep the PG-13 rating to capitalize on as big a market as possible, and oh wait, we're talking about Sony here, all hope is lost. Also, why is her blood black? Also, why was a web series on YouTube made on a small budget able to look more raw and scary than this $1 million project? Okay, so next up, ooh.
It's him.
It's him, vaguely spooky lines. Then finally we get our first glance at the real Slender Man, who doesn't seem to be wearing a suit whatsoever. I mean, think about it, if Slender Man wasn't in the movie, this whole trailer could have passed for any other generic run-of-the-mill Hollywood blockbuster spook fest. If Slender Man wasn't there, pretty much nothing would have changed aside from the brand recognition. Also, what is up with this stupid stock wind sound effect? I swear I've heard this exact ambient noise in like 1 billion other movies and shit. How hard is it to go outside into the woods with a microphone and record some wind? Ooh, silence followed by a quick look at the monster and a loud noise? Check! Also, why does the spooky Slenderman jumpscare sound like electricity? Like, yeah, Slenderman tampers with electronics, but this girl really doesn't seem to have any of that with her. Again, terrible sound editing. I mean, at least in this shot, it kinda looks like Slendy isn't CGI, I think. The quality kinda makes it hard to see, and I guess that's kinda good, I guess. I don't know what the budget for this movie was, anyways. Oh my god, are you fucking kidding me with that laughing baby sound effect? All I can think of is that old goddamn baby laughing remix. perfect! Oh my god! That is so cheap and so goddamn funny! So this girl kinda looks bothered. Ooh, what is she holding? Pan down, and cut! Roll credits! Hashtag can you see him? So let me guess, they're gonna have a little final jump scare sting before the trailer ends, aren't they? Holy shit, they didn't do it! That's like the only horror movie trailer cliche I think they avoided. So, that's the trailer. I mean, what is there to say really? This was completely expected. It looks like whatever other spooky Hollywood blockbuster to have ever come out over the last few years. It looks completely overblown, over the top, lacking in any form of subtlety or deeper thought. It's reliant on silence followed by a loud noise. It has an overabundance of stock sound effect, random cuts to black and then fade-ins. I mean, it's exactly what I expected Hollywood to turn Slender Man into, beat for beat. According to Wikipedia, shooting for this movie began in June of last year and finished barely a month later, and the film is due for release in May of this year, less than a year after shooting wrapped. Which honestly doesn't sit well with me at all. It definitely feels as though they are rushing this thing out. Isn't it also lovely how the father of one of the attackers who attempted to murder their friend because of Slender Man finds the whole production to be extremely distasteful to the ones affected by the case? Lovely. I certainly hope the actual movie will have any shred of originality, but judging by this tired, generic, studio-manufactured trailer, I don't have my hopes set high at all. I think taking a real subtle psychological approach to Slender Man's character would have been a little too smart for this movie. I mean, why challenge the audience when you can make a lot of money by doing the opposite? Am I nitpicking? I don't think so. I'm just completely indifferent to the trailer. It earns basically nothing more than an eh, followed by a shrug from me. It's not surprising nor unexpected in any way whatsoever and did nothing to subvert my expectations. It's also, like I previously mentioned, extremely Stranger Thingsy, you know? Missing kid who may or may not still be out there, a school setting, probably set in a small town, where the kids have to band together to beat a spooky monster in the woods. Seriously, if Slender Man was not in the title or in the movie and would have been replaced by, I don't know, Bagul I guess, it could have easily passed as any other horror movie, but of course because it has Slender Man in it, more people are going to pay attention to it. The question is though, is the movie too late or will it be able to pull in an audience who will be willing to see it? Psh, I don't know dude, that remains to be seen. I'm sure it's gonna satisfy the teens who want a spooky, simple movie to go see, but damn if it isn't random that the film is being released in May of all months. Surely it would make more sense to release it closer to Halloween. I don't know, man. This whole thing really doesn't bode well for me. It really feels like the studio is just pushing this thing out as soon as possible to earn a quick buck. I really don't know how this thing is gonna go. Bottom line, I am completely underwhelmed and indifferent. Whatever. Thanks for watching, guys. Stay awesome. Goodbye.